Hello and welcome to Away the Fellas podcast. This is a podcast in which we watch the match live action via the club's website, and we talk through the match. Sometimes we'll commentate on the match, sometimes we don't really. It is what it is, and that's about it. Joining us today we have Thomas Hedley, a long-time Sunderland fan, and Jack Turner, also a long-time Sunderland fan.
For better or for worse.
Yeah, I agree. So what we're going to do, we're going to press play on the match now. This is the Sunderland versus Hull match. Everybody obviously knows the score already, but we're going to watch it back now. I've just pressed play and it's 3 seconds gone on the match clock now. I'm going to turn it down a little bit, so I'm not quite sure if we can watch this and broadcast the audio for copyright purposes. I haven't really looked into that, to be honest, but let's just not give them the option. We'll turn it down a little bit. Yeah. So I was saying a little bit earlier on about we're watching this via the club's website. This is via SAFC, and C is spelled SEE, as in C as in sight, vision.
Interesting.
I can't remember how much we paid to subscribe to it, but I think it's about 60 quid for the year or something for the season. It's not bad really. I mean, obviously you're watching the matches in retrospect, so you already know if we've won or not. But if you need to analyse the game, or you just want to watch Sunderland play a full 90 minutes of football, which doesn't seem like too much to ask, then it's probably worth the £60 a season or whatever.
We'll put it this way, it frees up your Saturday as well. If you don't want to actually pay for a season ticket, you don't actually want to go to the matches and spend your Saturdays there. Maybe you've got Saturday jobs, whatever.
Yeah.
Families.
100%.
Some people got better things to do.
Yeah, you've got better things to do. Well, a lot of people have better things to do. Our attendance has gone way down.
If you want to get up on a Sunday morning and you want to watch it on Sunday morning, regardless of whether you know the result or not, I'm sure you can stay off your phone long enough
definitely
to avoid.
Yeah, so you're spoiler free. Yeah.
I think people who don't even live here as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, people living on the other side of the world who want to watch the Sunderland matches.
I'm realising how much of an Irish contingents we have still.
Yeah,
I thought that would have dropped off a little bit over the last few years. But
no, we've always been quite big in Ireland, I think.
There's an Irish lad just started to work. He's from Belfast, actually. He's Northern Irish, I shouldn't say.
Yeah.
But he was telling us that there's enough Sunderland fans over there.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's about 2 minutes in now. Yeah, it's 2 minutes and 2 seconds gone, and Sunderland are looking quite good already. Actually, you've got.
How many would you say is there?
Yeah, some great passing from Brown and Webb.
Yeah. I think the home attendance was about 26,000 or something like that. I don't know. We should actually check the attendance.
I think 27.
Wasn't great. Yeah, 27,000. Yeah.
I realised.
We'll take your word for it.
Exactly 2 minutes and that's 30.
30. Yeah.
I'm not wearing my glasses, so I should really.
Yeah, you should have been watching them. Yeah.
So I can actually see which footballers are keeping the ball.
So we've got a corner swinging in, and that's.
It was good delivery actually.
Yeah, it was
hit the right area. Oh, that's sloppy that.
Oh, it's just cynical. It's fine. Don't mind Honeyman doing that every now and then.
I guess what we're doing at this early always just sets the tone, I think.
Big fan of Brian Oviedo, by the way. I think he's been excellent for us this season.
From what I've seen of him, absolutely.
Body checked him there. Nice little.
It establishes a tone. And Hull's going to be a physical team as well.
He got away with that as well. I think he probably would have been booked for that in the Premier League.
Yeah,
it's a cliche, but
with Oviedo as well, it's like he can actually justify possibly wanting to be away because he's performed so much this season as opposed to.
I think he's quite committed to the cause from stuff he's been saying in the media. I mean, obviously, I know players can say that sort of stuff, but he seems like he's up for the fight. I mean, you can't fault his work ethic so far this season. Oviedo, I think he's been great. One of our better players.
Is it true that we've signed Luwal just on the?
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
My mum mentioned it.
Because Luwal,
yesterday.
I don't really think he's the best, but at the same time, we kind of need more players. We just need more players.
Got promoted with him.
At least he offers something like pace.
Well, how old is he now? He's got to be pushing 28, 29.
I don't know what he is.
He's getting on
definitely. I was just thinking, he has been around a while.
I'll see how old, Kazangala Walawa is actually.
Yeah, but I think his kind of player that suits our cause at least. He's got pace.
27, Kazangala Walawa.
Yeah, exactly. Fast on the break, exactly what we need.
I think it's bodies as much as anything.
Started his career at Newcastle, obviously. Went on loan to Doncaster. Went on loan to Brighton. Went on loan to Brighton again. Got 4 goals and 11 appearances for Brighton in 2010. Then signed for Brighton permanently and got 13 goals in 111 appearances for Brighton.
Is he primarily more of a winger?
15 goals in his senior career.
Out wide, like
15 goals in his senior career. Kazangala Walawa.
That's not great.
I mean, he's a winger. He doesn't have to score goals.
Yeah, he's that's not what he's going to be here for. Yeah.
How many assists though? Does it say that?
See if I can find assists. No, I can't actually. This is Wikipedia. You bastards, Wikipedia. It's good for like goal records, but pretty much no else. Although, if I'm going to be official in referencing goal records, I will cite 3 different sources, because Wikipedia's not a good source for stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Who scored is usually a good one.
There's official databases though, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. Yeah. It's hard when you have to compare cup games and Premier League games and stuff like that, because all the databases always fucking deviates in a way. But it is what it is.
Can't go to the media as well.
Yeah. So Chris Coleman decided to name the 2 young lads in his starting 11 against Hull. You had Joe Lasoro, the eventual goal scorer, and Josh Madja, who scored in our last home win, wasn't it?
Against Fulham.
Against Fulham, yeah. He got the goal. He was the hero that day. I actually missed it because I was moving in here in my new house. So before this game, the last game I saw us win, because I haven't done any away games in ages, was against Hull in 2016. 2016.
Yeah, it would have been 16.
Last time I saw us win was 2000. Before this, 2016.
Well, that's across 4.
And I haven't missed many home games.
That's across 4 competitions as well.
Yeah.
I think that in best year there, because I got offered a ticket for this match, and I said no because I was busy.
This one.
This match, and I said no because I was busy. And I've been to more games this season than I have for like the last 8 years.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen us win in 8 years either. It was the last time I saw us win.
Yeah, but that's because you stopped going though.
Yeah, I know, but I stopped getting a season.
I've seen a load of games. Well, to be fair, I've watched every game this season because I've done a match report for every game that I haven't been there.
Yeah,
apart from away games, I've done a match report for every away game so far this season. But yeah, I know what you're saying. It's still a longer record for. It is a unique atmosphere when you win and when you score and shit like that.
It's been so long, I wouldn't know how it felt.
Oh, some of the best times in my life.
They really get it right with the music as well.
Yeah, sweet feeling.
Different music to put on.
My memories when I think of Sunderland really are of the soundtrack.
Yeah. John O'Shea, Big John,
Big
Bad John. He was solid against Hull and
Sheriff.
I think he is a sheriff, isn't he? I think with John O'Shea, obviously he is getting on. He's not as quick as he used to be, but I'd say more than often he puts in a solid job at the back and he organises the back. But the only time you notice he's present, is when he fucks up, because his job is a thankless job, because he's organising the back 4 and he's still managing his own performance. So he's got 2 things to worry about.
Yeah, I think absolutely. You look at how much we paid for him, 5 million. We bought him in 2011.
Yeah.
And he's been the captain ever since.
He's kept us in the league several times. Not in the league, in the Premier League. He's kept us in the Premier League. We're no longer in that league anymore, so I can't refer to it as the league.
I put him in the same boat as Larson as well.
Yeah.
It's
who is playing for Hull.
Yeah.
Let's not forget.
You can't deny that technically they did keep us up, and it was literally them every season.
Performance against Arsenal that kept us in the league under Dick Advocaat.
Yeah.
Well,
I watched that. I didn't watch that game live because I was in Paris, and Rebecca booked us in at this nice restaurant, and I was actually really fucking annoyed with her because that was a game that I needed to watch, but at the same time, we're in fucking Paris, and she's booked us in this meal. And am I going to find a pub in Paris that shows the Sunderland game? Like maybe it was against Arsenal, so I probably could have.
Yeah, definitely.
Because,
huge French.
but you know, I didn't want to fuck her off, and I was grateful that she'd gone to that effort.
Oh, wow.
I just would have liked to have seen the match, and then it was the match, and we're obviously Larson. I watched the full replay, the full 90-minute replay of it, because I taped it on Sky. On Sky Plus or whatever it was. But it wasn't the same as being there live. But Seb Larson, that game, wow, literally running himself into the fucking ground. Couldn't stand up at the end of the match. Unbelievable stuff.
But that's the effort that you want to see.
Yeah.
They're playing for 90 minutes, you know, give or take. And
do you know anything about Seb Larson other than the fact he's a footballer?
He's Swedish.
He's Swedish. That's it. He's never done anything in the media. He's never done anything with his personal life. Never doesn't do anything. He just likes playing football. Like, I'm sure he spends his money like everybody else does, but like, he's just a footballer, isn't he? He loves playing football, and you can tell every time he enters the pitch. Like, I was really disappointed when we got rid of Larson. I can see why we did it, because he's not the best. Like,
not at this point.
I actually thought this was interesting from Seb Larson here. He's setting up the wall from behind the ball. Like, so he's taking the free kick because he knows how he takes free kicks. So he's setting the wall up based on his judgment. I've never noticed a player doing that before. I'm sure they probably do, but I've just never noticed it. But he did it in this game, and I was like, oh, that's interesting from Larson there.
He obviously knows the Sunderland setup as well, and their mentality.
Well, I don't know. I mean, Honeyman and Robson standing over the ball there, so he probably doesn't know how they take the free kicks. But that's an excellent free kick, by the way.
I was going to say
excellent delivery from young Robson, like
Browning.
Yeah.
He's on the loan deal from Everton, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
So, do we have any options to buy him at the end of it or anything like that?
I'm sure there will be one in the contract.
I'm thinking
it'll probably be ridiculous.
He really, I see him this season over the last few games especially. I really do think he has got a good chemistry with John O'Shea.
Yeah.
And it would be nice to see him pretty much take the mantle.
Yeah.
Once John O'Shea retires, because let's be honest, he hasn't, like we were saying before, he hasn't got that many seasons left in him.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, to be fair, when we started the season, I actually thought the defence was pretty sturdy, like with O'Shea and Brown at the back. It just when it fell apart, it really did fall apart. But I think with playing Clark Salter in front of the back four, you've got someone who can pass the ball there a little bit, someone who's like willing to kind of try and take it up the pitch rather than like having to shit every time they've got the ball.
And we still have Galloway, who's I think got legs on him as well.
I think as well, early on, our goalkeepers haven't gone to shit as well.
Yeah.
I think that was big.
Yeah. Well, Galloway's not playing here though.
No. But he's someone, like I'm saying, someone good to have on the bench.
Oh yeah.
The kind of players that we're saying, you bring on the 67-minute mark.
I think Oviedo has been fucking solid out there on the wing this season. Like,
last season as well.
I sit in these stands, so I see him bombing up and down the wing all the time. You know what I mean? He's class. Really good overlap. Yeah, he was decent last season as well. I had no issues with performance last season.
It was just one of those ones where it was just fighting an impossible battle.
Lee Cattermole there bursting down the wing to try and get across him. Brilliant. Cattermole returned to the side, and we did see a more Lee Cattermole.
Lovely ball.
That was Billy Jones with a shot there. We did see a more Lee Cattermole type performance, didn't we? It was very commanding. Was played some nice passing movements, like knew when to pass, knew who to pass to. Was just all around pretty steady in the middle, like, and held us together. Especially playing alongside Ethan Robson as well.
I think it's definitely when the rest of the team's competent as well.
Yeah, definitely elevates his performance. Yeah, I agree. But to be honest, like, he didn't seem to be on the ball that much, because it seemed like Ethan Robson was always happy to get the ball.
Yeah, he was. That's one of the things I really liked about him.
Yeah, you don't often see that from young players. Like, he obviously is confident in his ability.
That's Hoof, isn't it, for Hull?
No, it's Michael Dawson.
Michael Dawson, sorry. I never liked him.
Well, he plays for Hull now, so. Well, then again, John O'Shea plays for Sunderland, so I suppose you can't really judge a player based on.
I just always thought he was, I don't know, like, he's a cynical player. I just didn't think he was a very nice player. Like.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a great break.
Billy Jones doesn't make the most of it. Doesn't make the most of that.
The first time, did? That was out.
Jones was all right though.
He was busy. Yeah, he was active.
He seems to want to play as well. You know what I mean? Like, and he's one of the players who came out and did the interviews with the Echo and that, and said like, I'm committed to the cause, and there's people here who's not committed to the cause, and I'm not one of them, and all this shit. You know what I mean? Like, but he does walk the walk as well. Like, because whether he's like good or bad, he usually is good. Like for me, I don't really have that big of an issue with Billy Jones, because he comes forward and he always tracks back. Like, but he seems to be up for it, whether he's like he gets results or not. You know what I mean? So I do appreciate that.
I do appreciate his limits though at the same time.
Oh yeah, he definitely has limits to his game. Well, I mean, everyone appreciates that. Cattermole's always up for the cause, but then I'd say this season, when he dropped off, he really looked like he wasn't that up for the cause.
Yeah.
He just looked like he was kind of a bit sick of it. But then against Hull, his performance was completely elevated. Maybe it's because he's had that spell out of the side where he's sort of new managers come in and he hasn't fell in love with us straight away, like most managers do. He's called us out on me bullshit and that, and now he actually has to fall back into the team ahead of players ahead of him. Like, it's probably helped by the fact that Ndong's exiled or whatever it is. But
yeah.
It's nice little footwork from Joel Sorrell.
Yeah, but he was never going anywhere there.
No, he could have played the pass.
Yeah.
He still has.
I do sometimes think he is very much like a solo runner at times. Likes going for glory.
I think he showed a lot more to his game in this one, in terms of passing the ball and that, because later in the game he does play some nice passes. But
I haven't actually even seen the highlights of this yet, so I'm seeing all this for the first time.
He's more than just a speedster, Joel Sorrell, I feel like. But I was really impressed by Josh Madger's
I like
performance
him.
here.
He's a lot bigger. He's a lot more of a presence than what he first looked.
I think his hold-up play as well.
His hold-up play was absolutely excellent. Like, we did play a few long balls in this game, but they all seemed to go to Josh Madger, and he dealt with them very, very well throughout, and always seemed to. Like, he was playing with his back to goal a lot of the time, but he seemed to be able to handle it. Like, not a lot of players can do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Fucking
Coleman Jones.
like grabbing terrible with his back to goal, absolutely fucking garbage. Like, and he was the interesting thing about grabbing, right, is he scored so many goals for us compared to everybody else. They were top scorer by a mile. Like, there's only McGeady who even comes close, and yet. Did he ever have a good game? Like, he offered nothing.
At the very start, he did. The first 3 games.
Decent.
Yeah, overall energy.
But like, how often does he drop out of games and stuff like that? Where, like, he might score a goal, but is he involved for the rest of the game? Not really.
But
not at all.
Those kind of players, it's risk reward, isn't it?
But Darren Bent was kind of like that as well.
Well,
you can't really compare them because Gravel was nothing on Darren Bent. Like, Darren Bent was
like someone even as high class as Berbatov, you know.
I suppose, like,
it's someone who, like, you're risking
comparing Gravel
the length
and
of time you've
got him on the pitch.
You can get more out of the team by not playing him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like, he's probably far better being on the bench and coming on, but at the same time he needs time on the pitch to absorb what's going on around him for to have those moments of class. That's kind of like the juxtaposition with it.
I do think it's a personality thing as well, and I think you definitely see it in somebody when they're not up for the fight, like not interested.
Well, it became evident near the end of his spell that he wasn't up for the fight anymore. I mean, he's fucked off, hasn't he? So maybe that's unfair because he's only going back to his parent club, but
but why? You know, it's not like they needed him back.
Yeah,
it's not like they were calling him back. He wanted to leave, and to me, he's made the commitment. You know, it's 6 months of his career, 6 months for him to improve.
Yeah.
And make a difference in a team that knows he need him.
Yeah.
And he's decided.
Cattermole gets himself into trouble here, but then recovers very well.
Very well.
And it's the funny thing is, all the Hull players charge towards Cattermole there.
This is excellent. Great movement. Oh,
that was lovely.
the goal.
Yeah, absolutely fucking excellent goal.
Excellent.
Have you ever seen a fucking better goal scored by Sunderland at the Stadium of Light? A better team goal. under Reid, fucking every week.
All
Lovely
of
team goals under Peter Reid, but since then, fucking
one touch passing them.
Starting with a Cattermole.
yeah.
Getting himself
Start with
into
Cattermole, getting himself into trouble. So all the whole players charged towards him, and then they were completely bent out of shape and would just pass between the gaps because they're all
ready for the break.
They were all fucking double down and Cattermole fucking up, and he didn't. He turned his back, passed, got out of trouble, and then we just fucking passed around him into the goal. Absolutely excellent fucking goal from Sunderland AFC against Hull. The Tiger bastards, the Tigery bastards. I hate them.
You're a bit of a bogey thing, aren't you?
Well, not of recent times. We tend to mug them off in recent times, but over the years.
When they went back
always crop up.
When they went back into the Premier League, Steve Bruce.
Some key games over the last 10 years have been lost against Hull. Like,
it's been 8 years since I've been going to the games. That's lovely, man. Yeah. Cattermole not going for like the simple pass though, is he? Making things difficult.
It's because he's seen Brown and pulling them off.
Yeah, but you know, stick to your game.
Yeah.
See Cattermole always hyped.
Yeah.
Hyped as fuck, so he's trying 60-yard long balls. Make him run. Like American football.
I think it makes the world of difference when it's not just one youngster in the team.
Yeah.
Across two positions as well.
Well, you can tell that they used to play with each other. They've been playing with each other for a long time now. So having that comfort of just having someone in the team that you've shared the pitch with several times is probably massive for young lads, because they're going into that team and they're knowing that they're the weak link as they step in. Or like everybody's going to perceive them to be anyway, so all the decision making in the team is going to take that into account. So then going into the team and saying, oh, I'm playing alongside someone who I've played with for years and we're up front, so when the ball comes to our section of the pitch we can do whatever the fuck we want, we can do what we've been doing for however long. Well, Josh Madger signed for us when he was 15, he's 18 now, so they've probably been Josh Madger, Asoro signed for us when he was 15. He's 18 now, or possibly 19. So they must have been playing together for 3 years.
Watching the crowd, just about everybody's animated.
Yeah.
Great noise from the fans.
Well, I suppose I wouldn't be out of line in saying that the people who are still there are the people who will probably always be there. Like, I'm not going to stop going. If we get relegated in the conference, I'm not going to stop going. You know?
Oh, definitely not.
Like, why would it? Doesn't matter.
I love hearing that.
It's just what you do.
I love hearing people behind the camera.
Well, go on, son.
Go on.
Yeah. In this in this replay service that the club's got, sometimes you can hear people's phones going off and people chattering in the background and stuff. Like,
it'd be great if you were like listening to a really awkward conversation. Someone breaking up with somebody. It's just not working.
As if they would do that at the start of the match.
Yeah.
89 minutes.
What are you doing to us?
It's like 1-1, someone got a corner. I'm leaving with the kids.
Oh, wait. 5 more minutes. It's nice.
Yeah, good.
I don't know what Bill Jones is going to do with that ball. Like, setting them up the field there. Like, get in there. The linesman spoils ball there.
Typical.
Who's this guy throwing the ball for Hull now? He's like a
Madger hair.
Yeah. He's got Josh.
It's Madger's got.
I was telling you, they've got to start like gimmicking the Madger hair and start selling that like Fellaini stuff.
Oh yeah, like what they used to do with Zack Ryder on WWE. You do the hair thing, the spiky hair.
Or just Fellaini?
Yeah, yeah, they used to sell Fellaini wigs, like the
Fellaini wigs, yeah.
Everyone had one?
I do like a Madger hair
until he actually started playing for them.
Yeah. Nice little quick feet from Soro, even though the ball had already.
Yeah, he has. He's got some strength for a kid so young. How old is he? 21.
Soro, no, he's only 18, I believe. Could be.
Oh yeah, he's much younger than 21.
Oh
no.
wow. He's younger than that.
I think he's still 18.
Is he not 17?
I'll look that up.
You know, it's something I always read about when it comes to like youth players and people who come up through academies, but people who are like particularly fast and stand out.
Yeah.
And they push these kids. I read an article, I can't remember for what team, what league it was, but this kid, 12 years old, and he'd been pushed up to the
13, yeah.
13 years
I've heard
old,
this, yeah.
and he got pushed up to the 18 squad, and then he got pushed up from the 18 squad running to the 21 squad, and that's a huge difference. In terms of like size and experience, and like you can go head on talent and stuff like that, but when you've got kids as young as that going up against men, they're not going to enjoy playing football, because they're not going to enjoy going up against getting pushed around by adults.
Yeah, definitely not.
I
think you made a good point there. Like,
athletes as well. You know, not just men.
It's going to cause them to fall out of love with the sport. Maybe that's what happened in Rodwell. Like, he was introduced to playing at a senior level from too young of an age because he's always been a bit of like a physical specimen, much like Connor Wickham. Mm-hmm. And then you level out and you realise, actually, you know what, I'm not that much better than people. Like, I was better than everyone my age because I was a big bastard.
I mean, you're Ryan Noble.
Yeah.
How young was he when he started playing in like the more senior league?
Oh yeah.
You know, he was still in school and he was playing some senior games.
Well, he was so quick though, wasn't he?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's always the players that are like physical presence. Yeah. You're not going to play many 13-year-olds because he's a dominant centre back.
Well, check out this is what I was looking up. You saw for Makoko for Borussia Dortmund in the under-17 Bundesliga.
Yeah.
15 games, 27 goals, 4 assists, and he's only 13.
Oh wow. Yeah, exactly. That's the kid.
Well, what about that kid who signed for Real Madrid? That Martin Odegaard.
Odegaard.
Wasn't he like 15 or something?
He was 15 when he signed for them.
He had like a shitload of money for him or something. Let's look at Martin Odegaard.
I'm sure
what's he been doing recently?
He's still for Real Madrid.
Apparently he's Martin Odegaard the first. I mean, I don't know who the second is.
He might be like Danish or somewhere Scandinavian.
Age 19 he is now.
But so ridiculous. You can say might be Scandinavian.
Yeah, he's quite clearly Norwegian.
Yeah.
In fact, he's played 10 games for Norway and he scored fuck all goals. And for Real Madrid, he's played once and he scored fuck all goals.
Them, isn't he? Real Madrid?
Yes, from 2017, he's been on loan at Heerenveen, who are a Dutch club.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing the top Dutch league.
Yeah.
Eredivisie, I believe it's pronounced.
The thing with the Dutch league is it's great for attacking players.
It's great for attacking players,
They all play attacking formations and it's all just a development scheme for.
It's probably how Josie Altidore scored some goals there.
There's been a bunch of players who have either come out of that being awesome, like Van Persie, Suarez, or have been Altidore, or the guy who signed for Middlesbrough years ago. Was it not Alves?
Wasn't there De Jong as well? Nigel De Jong or
Luke De Jong signed for Newcastle.
Like some
never
of these
did anything.
You know, there's been a lot of names you could go over through the Dutch league.
Yeah, if you think of players who came from Ajax and signed for English clubs.
PSV, there's a bunch of teams.
Yeah, PSV, Bergkamp. I'm not sure if he came from. Did he play for PSV? Bergkamp? Didn't he?
But it is a breeding ground for attacking football, in the same way that Italian football is quite a breeding ground for defensive players, like tactician players.
Yeah.
You see so many Italian centre backs, young Italian centre backs, breaking into like Manchester, like the top elite teams in the Premier League and Spanish leagues. It is interesting to see how different leagues in different countries have got like their own kind of focus.
Philosophies.
Italian football notoriously defensive football. You score a goal, you're sitting on your part on the bus for the rest of the night.
Well, you'd have to say in Spain, the midfielder, like the
right
passing the ball.
I think
it's all about chemistry,
skill as well. Like,
I mean, Spain, you're going to be hard pushed to find another league that's got that level of skill per game. I think
it's the whole passing thing as well. You know.
Yeah.
Barcelona's obviously famed for.
They play probably the most beautiful football.
And who most teams end up basing their philosophy around, essentially.
But that ball's nowhere near that line. Like, I can see the ground between it. Maybe it's your new curved TV. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it could be the curved TV.
No, he moved the ball, he got told. Do you know, I don't understand why they do that. Like, what they really get from
Larson always used to do that. It's like he's got to get the 2 centimetre advantage.
Matthews puts him off there.
I actually said to, I was sitting next to Martin Starr at this game, and it was just me and him actually, and I said I bet Larson doesn't beat the first man in the corner here, and he fucking didn't. Never does. It's one of the things you don't miss about having Larson in the team. He's getting lacklustre set pieces, despite the fact that he's a set piece specialist. Terrible set pieces.
It is true though that you only reminisce of the highlights. You think.
Oh yeah.
Like when you think of Barini.
Oh yeah.
And players like that.
My memories of Larson will be probably from the centre of midfield, like.
Definitely.
But Billy Jones, he's fucked it. Billy Jones has fucked it. Oh my god.
He's a crimson mask.
He's busted him wide open. What actually happened to Billy Jones there? Did he just
when he always goes for the spot, he always
That's he was running so hard that he lashed himself in the face, and now he's bleeding profusely.
If you talk about things you can't hold against Billy Jones, like, he literally puts his body on the line whenever possible.
Oh yeah, for sure. Jeff Hardy,
stuntman.
Yeah. John O'Shea. Are you alright, Billy? Would you like a cup of tea? Nah, John O'Shea wouldn't be making anybody's tea, would he?
Nah.
He'd get people doing his tea for him. Big John. Great finish from a Sorrel, that. Like.
Excellent.
Keeping no chance. Didn't even bother going for it.
Yeah. I wasn't even that bothered about the finish, to be honest. Like, when everyone after the game was going on about a Sorrel, and that, I was like, it's a decent finish, but it's the team build-up that made the goal. Like, I loved that much more than I enjoyed the goal. Well, even though I'm over the moon for a Sorrel, like, because he was due a goal.
What my mum keeps telling me about the Coleman is that he's weeding out the people who want to play for the shirt and the people who don't. And even if the players that aren't meeting the standard for the games, you know what I mean, in terms of quality, at least they're the players that want to be on the pitch and are going to put that shift in. And in my opinion, that's the team that's going to, maybe at first, there's going to be some real speed bumps, but you are going to see team chemistry like that, and you're going to see more goals like that, because they're going to be players that are comfortable around each other and learn the craft around each other.
Yes, the familiarity again as well, I think.
Right with that. I mean, when I think of the glory teams in all the football history, they're all players that were like the same team for many, many years.
Oh yeah.
You know, the same
like a core nucleus of the team.
Players. That's what you need.
I think like German teams.
We have our best. We personally in Sunderland have our best runs when we have like a.
Yeah, cool.
That's how
we got to the cup final.
Yeah, exactly.
How we got to the cup final, we didn't change the team.
Winning formation.
I think under Peter Reid we had quite a consistent.
Stayed up that season doing the same thing. Peter Reid especially. You had a very core group of players there.
You have to have players who want to be on the team.
Mm-hmm.
It's simple as that.
Yeah, and players have got to want to be in the team so much that other players are trying to get into the team.
Yeah, exactly. It's got
and they're giving them competition. That's just not the. It's not the case at Sunderland at all, because you've got so few people who want to be in the team that no other fucker wants to be in the team. There's going to be no competition for places.
And I'm more than happy to see it.
He's going to narrow it down to the people who do want to play, and then he's going to say, right, you're not playing because you're not better than him. So he's going to he's going to try harder to get in the team.
And then you know what?
It's what happens with these two young lads here.
Yeah, exactly.
Trying to get in the team, working hard every week, and now it's paying off because they're fucking killing it. Because Hull can't get the ball. They kind of formulated the time
energy.
anyway.
That's energy though. Like that time missing there When you've got young players doing that, they're having fun.
Yeah.
I've said this as well, like, Martial was like winding up their defence so much. I can't remember the last time we had a player who was just purposefully like getting in the opponent's heads. Like always get really nice plays.
A lot of the ball,
Yeah, man, I like it.
Never try and push anyone.
For such young guys as well, they do have a physical presence. And I like to see that in a striker.
It's a shame. Oh, a little stamp there from Joe Chaneyman.
Honey buns.
Joe Chaneyman.
Honey buns.
Honey bun. Oh yeah, I'm David. Actually, fuck Meyler. Fuck him. Fuck David Meyler. Get rid of him. Do you know that David Meyler's got his own gaming YouTube channel now?
Oh, does he? Oh, that's
terrible. That's really bad, isn't it? He uploads videos of himself playing FIFA Ultimate Team. He's a fucking professional footballer. How fucking embarrassing is that?
He should only sign himself and just play 11 versions.
Loving football that much.
Well, if he wants to be good at
playing, he has to be playing.
I don't think it comes down to loving football. I think it comes down to being a daft cunt. Because he's a professional footballer, he doesn't need to spend his time on FIFA having a fucking YouTube channel. Are you kidding me?
Spending more time in his tactics on that.
And if he
actual career.
And going back to what you said about only playing himself, if he wants to be good at the team, he won't fucking play himself because he's a garbage footballer and he's probably garbage at Ultimate Team as well. How embarrassing! How embarrassing! How embarrassing for a bloke his age to have his own fucking YouTube channel where he opens Ultimate Team packs like Coleman. Like. How fucking embarrassing is that?
I'm thinking if
would you want that to be your dad? Like, let's be honest. Would you want your dad to play Ultimate Team and fucking upload?
I'm thinking if he's doing that, he can at least be excellent at FIFA, and if he's not the best, then that's
maybe if he's brilliant. Like, apparently Wayne Rooney's really good at FIFA. Like, he was like one of the best in the world at one point or something. But I suppose, like, if you're a footballer,
challenging everyone,
like,
Pro Ev,
fair enough.
Before everyone had the internet game.
Yeah, Pro Ev. Being one of the best in the world at Pro Ev.
It's easy to say you were one of the best in the world at FIFA before everybody had Xbox Live and PSN Network. You know what I mean?
No, well, it was at that point. I'm sure it's on his Wikipedia now. He was like one of the best in the world at FIFA.
At FIFA 2004.
Get Xavier.
Oh, going for the overhead kick. Excellent.
Wayne Rooney FIFA.
Well, that's great.
But that's like fair enough.
Everyone in school thought they were the best in the world at FIFA.
Oh, he's missed something great there. Like,
I saw it.
Oh, I wasn't even watching it. Turned me eye off the game. Oh yeah, was that? It's when the keeper he puts the ball down and he tries to kick Magic and then say it's a foul on him. What a daft bastard.
Walking away laughing.
Got some of his hand washing from Lush. Shout out. Fortunate.
I can't find the thing that says that Rooney was really good at FIFA, but I'm sure I read it somewhere.
So he's just bragged about in an interview one day.
But it's fair enough if you're really good at FIFA, because if you're a footballer, you probably do have a bit of downtime where you just want to chill out.
Well,
do
in terms of being great at
Mighty Mouse Johnson, Demetrius Johnson, UFC flyweight champion, he's one of like the most notorious Twitch streamers on the internet.
Oh,
all he plays is like a lot of like RPGs and UFC as well. Rampage Jackson does a lot of UFC as well. I think that's what I would do if I was like a famous UFC fighter and I was like in the game. I would only be myself and record myself
to try and give you a psychological boost.
I would talk down the mic to people and let them know exactly who it is. Trying to intimidate all of them. Tell them I'd come looking for them. I'd just try and bully them into letting us win.
Into submission.
Yeah, quit the match.
I think Xavier Woods as well is a good example.
Xavier Woods, wrestler.
Doesn't he do like
a gaming channel on YouTube? Yeah, I think he does. Yeah,
video games.
He's been get world championships and stuff.
I saw the one he did with Billy Kidman.
Yeah,
very good.
You know what the distinction is though between all those people and David Meyler is that they're not David Meyler. They're competent, they're good at what they do.
Can justify not being good at playing computer games.
Yeah.
We've been saying this and
David Meyler.
How good he is at it.
The thing is though,
he could be like one of the world's best. Like you could have like tactics.
I went on his YouTube page and all I could see was thumbnails of him opening cards and his little face in the corner. Little face in the corner like Martin Woods, like that fucking sex tape. You know that Sunderland sex tape?
Oh, yeah,
was it Martin Woods?
I can't remember
who was in that.
Liam
Lawrence was definitely. No, Sean Thornton wasn't.
Liam
Lawrence was in it.
Liam Lawrence was definitely.
Who was the other one? Ben Foster? Not Ben Foster.
John Oster.
No, it wasn't John Oster. Definitely wasn't John Oster. John Oster's way above that. John Oster's a nice lad.
Yeah, I remember. Oh yeah, that was probably like 6 years before that.
I'm gonna Google it. Sunderland sex tape.
I remember it all coming out that
sex tape scandal that shocks Sunderland.
And everyone started piling in the necks and harassing her.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, do you not remember hearing that? Everyone started piling. Do you remember where Next was in Sunderland Town?
Yeah.
Like where the bank is now. I think it's Halifax Bank or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah, I just remember hearing everybody used to pile in there and start sexually harassing her.
Do you know what? The club should buy the rights to that footage, right? And then whenever we win a game, we should put that.
That would not be. Yeah, that would not go down well. That would not go down well.
Putting it up on the big screens.
So I found an article about this sex tape. It's a Roker Report article, so shout out to Roker Report for having the first result on Google for that one. Shame of SAFC stars in a sex romp video. It was Ben Anik, Liam Lawrence and Chris Brown. It wasn't Martin Woods, so I apologise for suggesting it might have been Martin Woods because I don't know. You never know. He might have been there. Who filmed it? Actually, it was.
That I see in the back.
Yeah.
Actually, I believe it was Chris Brown who filmed it because he gives match of the day style commentary as he.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, as it goes on. As the fucking. That's the sound. That's the sound of his legs slapping her off. So what we got here? I don't want to read any more of this. This is
smut.
Smut. Shame on you, Roger Report.
Perverts.
Right about that. Fucking Roger perverts. That's what they should call them. Nah, they're just doing a good job reporting on what was a dark period in Sunderland's history, and obviously not the darkest by a long shot, but
but not great for PR.
Roy Keane having to sack several Sunderland players because they're in a sex tape with like a young girl, like not an underage girl. Let's distinguish, but a young girl still. Like she's a young girl.
I would have loved to have seen him get the news.
Yeah, a vulnerable girl in this situation probably when you think about it. Like if she's like pissed and in a threesome with footballers, like it's not great, is it?
Oh, well, definitely. I mean, it's impressionable.
But at the same time, it probably fucking happens, doesn't it? Probably happens quite often.
Yeah, but
it's not illegal.
No.
It happens with just about.
It's not illegal. It just happens.
Team sports.
Yeah. Definitely. But not great, is it? Not great.
Who is that?
Liam Lawrence, Ben Anik, and Chris Brown. It was.
No, I meant who was on the ball there.
Oh, who was on the ball? Oh, it was Robson.
Ethan Robson.
We were talking about it, weren't we?
Get him up.
I didn't want to read it anymore.
Being defensive.
Yeah, get him up.
Yeah. I do remember the thumbnail for it though.
And it was find that article incredibly quick. You sure it wasn't like?
Oh yeah, like I've got it favorited on my fucking internet browser on my phone.
It was already an open tab.
No, it's already his wallpaper.
And if I get was to have that as a favourite, why would I want an article about it? Why wouldn't I just have the video itself? Why would I want to watch that?
You just want to read it and be like offended by it.
Yeah, that's a disgrace. That Roker Report on that.
You watch it, you've got a censored version of it on your phone.
A censored version, like it was on the news or something, like ITV getting intervened.
Blacked out.
Just a picture of the Sunderland badge over her.
Well, like it's one of those Joe videos where they do like Arsene Wenger ones and stuff.
Yeah. They should at least release a GIF of it. Like.
No time for that. No time for But any kind of scandal at Sunderland, I'd rather we just not have any scandals for a while.
I feel like Hull's been hanging on the ball for a long time now.
Yeah.
Oh, Rebecca's just sent me a picture of her sitting at the David Bowie Experience, and fucking Mickey Horswell's sitting in front of her.
I don't know.
And all you can see on this picture is the back of Mickey Horswell's bald fucking napper.
What, the footballer?
Yeah, he's got like Bill Bailey hair. Oh, no, actually Larry David hair. You remember his look like Larry David. There from the back. Yeah. Mickey Horswell, like, he does have quite bizarre hair, doesn't he?
Yeah,
it's not great, is it?
Doc Brown in Back to the Future.
Doc Brown, yeah. Mickey Horswell, yeah. Great guy though.
New gimmick.
Great guy, Mickey Horswell.
And
average name as well. Going for a piss there, boy. Weak bladder there. Weak bladder. Actually, I quite fancy a piss as well.
I admit I do.
Are you going to eat this cinnamon bun?
Cinnamon bun, I was planning on eating it, yeah.
Right, it's pretty.
You're hanging on this jam and coconut cake for a while.
I'm saving that cake for later, for after we finish this podcast. Away the fellas. We're approaching half time. Yeah, well, you could have these grapes that I've kindly put out for you. Yeah, Away the Fellas podcast. We're approaching half time now. We're still winning 1-0. I'd say we've been fairly comfortable in this game, but Hull have shown signs of coming back into it, and I think a better team probably may have penetrated our defence. So I wouldn't say it was a perfect performance from Sunderland, but much improved in the first half, I'd say.
Yeah, I think just clinically as much as anything when we need it to be.
Yeah, clinical when we need it to be. Yeah, that's a perfect way to describe it. That chance that we had, the lovely passing move, Cattermole showing the clarity of mind to turn his back and just find centre back. Just passed around all the Hull players. Lovely one-touch football, and then an excellent chance for Joel Soro. To be honest, I thought it was half a chance when the ball was played in room, because it was from quite a narrow angle. But lovely strike in off the post. What more could you want from a goal? In off the woodwork. That's what you want. But a lovely ball from George Honeyman as well. Lovely assist.
Meyler as well.
Yeah, Meyler involved. Yeah. Lovely.
It's actually Browning who puts it down the wing. It's just that before that, Cattermole and whoever else it was just keeping it.
I think it was Cattermole or Shea, yeah.
Am I okay to grab the last can, Chris? I've got some of this to do.
I'm sure there's plenty of cans left, mate.
Have one of these dews anyway.
Oh yeah, have it, yeah.
Have the dew.
Yeah, Mountain Dew Zero. Yeah, there's a full bottle there, mate. Full bottle there. Mountain Dew, sugar free. It's terrible. It's nothing like the full fat, full sugar Mountain Dew. Terrible.
I'm awful peckish.
Peckish, yeah. You should be professional. Sit down, do this podcast. We're approaching half time. Maybe we'll have a half time snack.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. I've just checked my weight there actually while I was in there. I noticed you had
weighed yourself on the bathroom scales, did you?
Full of pizza.
You weren't in a hurry to get back since we're recording a podcast or anything like that.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I'm sure I was missed.
Actually,
in that
we actually had a much more
in-depth.
Yeah, in-depth discussion without you there. To be honest, taking us on time.
In the time I've just gone to the toilet, and you just decided to ditch me from the podcast from now on.
Well, to be honest, you've been here as long as everybody else has been here, so it's kind of a democracy at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, Seb Larson here. Him and Cattermole having a bit of argy-bargy. Argy-bargy. Flirting with each other a little bit there. For old time's sake. That's half time, so we're going to pause this for a little while.
Decent.
And then we are going to resume.
Half time thoughts there before you finish?
Half time thoughts. I thought we did very well in the first half. Very pleased with our performance. I wouldn't say it was a perfect performance, because better.
I would say
better than speed.
I would say we slightly took our foot off the gas there once we scored, but
you can afford to do that.
You can afford to do that, but I'm also questioning though because you don't want to be on the back foot for too long, because not only are they going to gain momentum, but we're also expending energy repelling their attack, and they held on the ball there in the last 15 minutes for quite a long time.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
And it defeats the purpose of, like taking your foot off the gas if you're just going to chase the ball around them.
Yeah, that's why I said I didn't think there was a dominant performance at all. It was just we were the more clinical, but I think we were the most who rode our luck the most.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, we're going to go for a piss, and we're going to take a break now. Half-time refreshments.
A classy end. Talking about Krav Maga, just to continue, when you talk about Krav Maga and you're talking about it's more of an impact thing, that goes off your reactions and stuff as well.
George Honeyman is restarting the game, and that is the second half kicked off.
Yeah,
we're talking about martial arts and Krav Maga
the most
versus
practical
Jiu-Jitsu, completely different.
Yeah, the most practical
sure.
use is what we were talking about.
Yeah, most practical use of a martial art in a real life street fight.
And I would say, considering the atmosphere that we live in and the climate that we live in, I don't think Krav Maga's a more efficient martial art to know in terms of its whole philosophy and its structuring as well. Like Krav Maga is a fairly simple, while ever evolving, it's a fairly simply structured martial art in the same way as karate, and there's progressions to it, right? Jiu-Jitsu is ever evolving. You see, like, there's multiple trails of thought you can go on with that, but I just mean that when it comes to the core element of the time that you're going to use martial art, if you're being attacked, or like you're in a situation where you have to defend yourself, 9 times out of 10 you're going to be close enough to be able to control them with Jiu-Jitsu. In my opinion.
I definitely think that's a logical theory, but I was just considering that maybe not every fight will get to that.
What type of martial art would you like to see Lee Cattermole exercise?
Straight up boxing.
Straight up boxing? You'd like to see Cattermole do some boxing?
I'd like to see him in black trousers with a white shirt tucked in with braces, braces over his shoulders.
What, like a vest? White vest?
No, a white
dress shirt?
Dress shirt, but like unbuttoned just at the collar.
Okay.
Maybe with like a bow tie, like an an untied bow tie as well.
Okay.
And like he's cocked fists like a Bruce Lee enemy.
I don't know, I think you can get some boots in, like some
wearing his footy boots wear his dress shirt and pants. Fucking hell, man.
Because like an old school kind of on the cobbles kind of.
When I said boots, I actually meant kicks.
Oh right. Well, I don't think Campbell's got time for that.
No, he's better than that.
Bruiser.
He's better than that.
Plays to his strengths.
Sam Larson.
It's interesting actually when you see the footballers that do martial arts.
Well, like Ibrahimovic.
As a hobby, because you see a difference in the mentality. Particularly, Ibrahimovic was always a bit wild, obviously, in his own kind of character. But it's definitely towards like the latter stages of his career that his persona really came out.
Oh yeah, because he's completely fearless, isn't he?
When he got way more, he became a more evolved martial artist. Because I know he did kickboxing or karate, it was for a long time, and then he got involved in jiu-jitsu and kickboxing a bit more seriously. And
it's a different philosophy on life, really, isn't it?
Because how old is he now? In 96, he is fearless, and when he was like 33, 34, he will have had a much more evolved mental game than most of the players on the pitch.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
definitely.
And when they've got if you've got I think he's like 33, 34 when he's playing at that age, and he knows physically, he might not be as explosive or strong, prime, just straight up strength, or have the fitness of these 21, 22-year-old beast centre backs that's going to be surrounding him. But he's got it up there, he's got it in the head, and he knows better than most how to psychologically break them down.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that comes with age as well.
And patience as well.
Well, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Patience is a large element of it, especially when you're a forward, having the patience to not expel all your energy when say you're not getting a touch of the ball, and you're getting frustrated every time you get a touch of the ball, the centre back's getting the better of you or whatever, get frustrated, then you get yourself fucked because you're trying so hard. He won't be doing that. He'll be patient as fuck. He'll be saying, right, I'm going to get muscled out of the game the first half, but the second half I'm going to have his fucking life.
Well,
and he always does.
He'll be thinking that, but then he'll be also thinking, I've got plan B, plan C, plan D, and that's what all the best athletes have. They'll always have more than one way to win.
It's known as well that you might only get like 2 chances a game to score.
Yeah. And when you become a far more notable player like that, like a more prolific player, you start to get man-marked more, and you start
definitely.
People start
more difficult for you.
People in teams start putting their tactics around you.
Yeah.
You know, like players like Henry, who literally would command a game.
Yeah.
The team's whole structure would be based on his presence on the pitch.
Yeah, and it can destabilise defences as well. Because if they can't handle it well, then sometimes they can take the eye off other players and stuff like that. Like Henry and Bergkamp had it all the time.
Well, Bergkamp's a great example of that as well, because he was someone where when he had the ball, you know he could score, but he knew he would be man-marked and controlled in that way by bigger defenders, that he became far better at like being the assist.
The ball,
Henry adapted his game as well, didn't he? He turned into a striker.
Yeah.
I think that changed it as well.
I think that was an evolution of his mental game and his physical game more than anything, to be honest with you, because I think he realised his strengths, his mentality was all better suited towards being a cut inside striker, you know. And that, I think Anelka was far more prolific when he was younger in terms of goal scoring, and he was always an out and out striker. But I think it took him a while for him to like understand the kind of striker that he was. You know?
Lovely effort
he came
Brian
good with age.
Viedo. Nice little free kick, dinking over the top of the wall.
He came good with age, Anelka.
Yeah, 100%. But people forget, like I say, how prolific he was when he was young. I think it was Monaco. He had a big goal scoring record.
Yeah, Brian Oviedo taking free kicks with the left foot. Keeper wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Keeper wasn't overly sure.
Have a threat on both sides.
He's probably one of the most competent set piece takers, Oviedo.
Yeah.
That's including McGeady.
Clark taking a long free kick.
Sunderland pretty much commanded the first 6 minutes this half.
Yeah. Coming out hot. Josh Maguire, his head is just growing by the second. It's like a broccoli stalk coming out of his head.
I assume it's what Coleman.
Not a stalk.
It's what Coleman said though, during the break. Is that don't take your foot off the gas. You know. Come out hot and maintain it.
There was a stat. It was something like Sunderland spent more time in the lead in this game than they did in like a year before it or something like that. At home.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Pretty insane that, like.
Do you know, rereading your book, 6 in a row?
Yeah, plug the book, 6 in a row, available on the Amazon Kindle store.
Read of it, I realised just how many unique records Sunderland have broke. Like in terms of beating Chelsea, Jose Mourinho's Chelsea side.
I think it was his first ever loss at Stamford Bridge in the league, which is a fucking insane stat.
Beating Man U. Whatever it was.
Yeah.
Whatever stage it was.
Beating Man U at their place for the first time in
45 years.
Ridiculous amount of time.
Yeah, and then doing it in the league.
Yeah. Like so many little crazy records. I mean, for highs and lows, we have some pretty terrible records as well.
For sure.
But it's just interesting. It's such an interesting club.
Highs and lows all the time.
Yeah, all the time. Like it never ends. There's never like a real stability moment. Even if it is, it never lasts a full season.
Yeah.
When was the last time we had one solid, stable season?
Probably under Steve Bruce.
Yeah, definitely. Even that, and it's like
wobbles.
Yeah, people got bored. People were like, mid-table. That's all it's about. Yeah, not good enough, mate. Garbage this. Top 6 club we are.
Sell everybody.
Right. Yeah, literally.
We want to finish 7th, you know.
That season when we finished 10th, like after the last home game, I was walking back with everyone and I heard someone say, "This has been the worst season I can remember in years." Then consider that now.
Yeah.
Definitely not being grateful.
Nah.
I do really think that is part of being a football fan curse, though, is you have to have a lack of memory. Like, your short-term memory kind of has to take a little bit of a leap in that you kind of have to go, it is purely on week-to-week form.
It is, yeah.
You know, and your mentality has to stay like that as well. You can't dwell on what you were like just last season, or even 6 months ago, because, well, maybe 6 months ago, so it's probably the same squad, but you can't even dwell on what you were last season, because you're a different team, you're a different squad, you're a different side, in a different point in the league, maybe even in a different league like we are now.
Yep.
And you just can't look back.
Well, having said that, we are showing the exact same form this season as we did last season. We're losing pretty much every game.
Yeah.
But that's an exceptional circumstance.
Sticking to the game plan.
Yeah, sticking to the game plan. We'll fight relegation, lads.
Wait it out.
What we'll do is we'll be in the relegation zone all season, and we'll sack the manager, and then we'll bring another one in, and then we'll stay up.
We'll wait.
It doesn't matter what league we're in, we'll do the same
win
thing.
every single game.
Yeah, and then we'll do it.
We have to win 5 games mathematically in a row to win.
We'll do it.
Well, of course we'll do it.
Yeah, even if it means like Chelsea and Man City and stuff.
Yeah. I know, the worst run-ins. Oh, pass it. Oh, Brian. Brian. What are you doing, Brian?
Strength.
Oh,
That was crazy, well.
George Honeyman. Oh my God. Rolling across the line.
Nobody gambled.
Yeah, nobody.
Oh my God. 55 minutes in, George Honeyman very close to scoring there. Pretty much impossible from that angle.
I'm just saying, like, the strikers there, like Jack was saying, I think it's an experience thing when you got someone like they just didn't gamble. None of them gambled.
Yeah.
You had someone with more experience.
Yeah.
Who's always going to be a level one. Like, you know, my classic example is on that. I still rate him as one of the worst footballers generally, but just with one of those mindsets of being a poacher. Adebayo.
Yeah.
Getting into the first team, every top team, because he was just always standing on the line to not in the final touch.
Oh, my cat's crying. What's wrong?
Oh wow.
What's wrong?
Didn't sound good.
No.
That was. I think she jumped off the sofa.
Oh, did you hit herself? Oh.
Isn't that like what the opposite of what cats are meant to do?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be agile.
Dumb.
I don't know what's wrong with the cat. She jumped down and then she cried. Like, she's meant to be a cat, she's meant to land her feet, isn't she? Well, she seems alright.
I really
Anyway,
made something out of that.
You've interrupted the podcast there, Kat, so, you know, rude. Joel Sorrell there coming close to doing something with the ball, I think, I don't know.
Yeah.
Had the cat in my hand, couldn't really see it.
I don't think we put together a proper sustained attack for quite a while, to be honest with you. It's just kind of knotted up the ball plan.
So just to explain our setup today for doing this podcast, I was explaining a little bit about the SAFC service on the club website earlier. I'm actually logged into that on a smart television with an internet browser. So if you're looking for practical ways to watch the replays, obviously you could just do it on a laptop or whatever, but most smart TVs come in web browsers now, and this one supports the club website, which I think is pretty cool. So that's one way you could do it. Another way you could do it is if you've got you could log in via your phone and you could ping it to the television via like a Chromecast type thing. You could try that if you wanted. It's not essential that you view it on a television, but I think it's a lot better if you do. Like, looking at a telly is much more comfortable than looking at your laptop, isn't it? Like, if you sit with your laptop on your knee or whatever, you'd much rather be watching it on your telly. But it looks like the club website thing's actually pretty cool. Like, this has been pretty decent quality all the way through.
Hasn't stopped once, hasn't even like flickered for a second.
And I don't have like super fast broadband or anything like that. I have like the middle package. I don't have the best package. I'm not going to pay for the best package. Fuck that.
The standard?
Yeah, I'll have the standard. And if that's not good enough, then they can get fucked. I'll move.
Do you know what? Cheap it down.
The standard or whatever.
Get it out.
That's like my attitude. It's exactly what I've done.
Yeah.
I just don't watch TV anymore. So just get rid of it.
Nah, since moving in here, what the Sky and Virgin Media, fuck it, like, just get rid of it.
Why bother?
Just, if I want to watch the match that much, I'll watch it illegally and I'll risk it.
Well, have you not seen that Sky doing this whole new initiative now? They're stopping them with the dishes. They're stopping the satellite dish up, so they're just putting like leaves in.
Larson coming close.
To try and like cut down on Well, it would cut down on a lot, really. It would cut down on like wiring alone.
Yeah.
In terms of like overall annual costs, I'm talking about for Sky to make money.
Yeah.
But it's the way to go. Like people want things on demand now and stream things when they want to be able to stream it.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
It's why so many of these companies are having to revamp themselves and reformat themselves just to try and keep up with the times.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons that we are not successful as a band, because we really like playing live, but we never record anything. So
there's two ways to do
there's fuck all people come like in comparison to how many people would listen to your stuff. Like say if you put something on the internet, like people can listen to it or watch it anytime they want. Yeah. Whereas we play live, if you're not there in that room on that day, then it's fuck all people who's gonna see your content compared to.
Yeah, it's far easier to like scroll down your page.
Yeah, and click on it.
Like on the Instagram video. Like just scroll past the page, you don't even have to click on it, the video will start automatically playing for like 5 seconds, and if you care enough you'll probably double tap and like it and then carry on flicking. You probably won't even continue watching the video.
Yeah.
It being real.
Yeah, exactly.
And as soon as you know
it's far less effort than going out into the town centre on a Saturday night, paying £5 into a gig or whatever it is.
Accessible
and then sitting there and watching us play. It's not sitting there because most people stand.
But yeah, I mean, I do that. Like, I'll admit it.
Yeah, I don't go to local gigs. I don't go to local gigs anymore. Not many anyway.
Or Instagram, and I see one of my friends has like done a gig or something, and he's put a video up.
Yeah.
I might click on it just to like give it the view or whatever, like the viewing numbers, and I might let it play for like 5 seconds, 10 seconds to just be like, oh yeah, good on him, you know, he's doing awesome. But I'm not going to sit down and listen to the whole song.
Yeah.
I don't care enough. I'll still like on it and comment on it, and probably share it and back you up and do whatever I can do to support you, but I probably don't care that much unless I actually enjoy your material, of course.
Yeah.
And then in that case, I'm your biggest fan.
Yeah.
I'll sell myself out anyway.
Yeah. To be honest, like when we've done all of our stuff as a band, and how long have we been together now? Like 6 years or something like that.
Oh,
we've played with a lot of bands. We've seen a lot of bands, and there's not that many that I like.
It's not many that stick in mind.
No.
Like let alone the ones that
I
like.
The thing about local music is like it should be supported and stuff, but at the same time,
talent levels.
Like if the talent level's not there, then no wonder no one comes out to see it. Like we've played with some really good bands, and I've seen some really good bands in the northeast that I've never done anything because they just don't have the exposure. But I've played with a lot of really, really bad bands, and that I would never want to play with again. And bands that, if they're on the bill for a gig, we've turned down gigs based on if they're playing, this is not going to be a good gig.
But I will say that a big part of that is people who are going to a gig, especially a local gig, particularly in Sunderland I'm talking about, is that if they're going out on a Friday or Saturday night and they're going to one of these gigs, they don't want it to just be like going to see 3 bands that they don't care about, they don't know about anyway. They want to have like an overall experience, and I feel like clubs have really, like promoters, and have really taken the piss in terms of putting on a quality production, like an overall night. We used to put on like full days at the Corner Flag.
Yeah.
And there'd be an effort behind it. There'd be like MCing behind it, or at least a little bit of a, at least it feel like it was a gig night. Like most pubs, like a local pub now on a Friday night, if they've got a local band in on a Sunday night or whatever night, they've got somebody introducing them and announcing them, just a DJ, just a local compare, or just somebody behind the bar to say he's the next group of lads on or whatever. It's not hard.
No.
To have that.
No.
And it shouldn't all be down to the bands, because when you leave it all down to the bands, you take away a lot of the mystique of seeing a new band.
Yeah.
The whole point of seeing a new band is, what's this sound? I don't know this sound. I need to find out more about this. Not, this is the guy that you're paying in at the door.
Yeah.
And then 30 seconds later, he's on stage holding a bass in his hand.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, when you put your own gigs on, that's always a thing, isn't it? Like, because you're on the door, and then at a certain point you've got to not be on the door, because then you've got to be on the fucking stage.
Yeah.
So you're like, do I put someone else on the door, like to keep taking money? Do I stop taking money if we're the headliner? Because if somebody's not in by that point, they're not going to fucking come.
And now I've got to go on stage with a persona.
Yeah, exactly. Like
charismatic.
I've just not 10 minutes ago, I've just thanked you for giving us £3 and then wished you like hope you have a good night,
probably
and
give
then
you a hug.
and not quite that.
Maybe not.
Well, if it's someone we know, then fair enough. But I'm not going to
about
hug everyone who comes to our gigs. I'm not that fucking desperate. You know what I mean?
There's usually a comment or two.
But
VIP treatment.
Yeah. We like to get VIP treatment as well. Yeah. Chris Cross. Exactly what you said about establishing a persona. Like they've just seen you on the door, letting them in the gig, so they're not going to expect too much if you go up there and stand on stage.
Well, it's just like, do you want to spend your Friday night doing that? Like, there's no pageantry doing it. Like, you're just there for the sake of being there.
I think I'd like it if the gigs were a bit later as well, because
people are already out for drinking and stuff like that.
They really put you on as soon as possible and really try and get you out as quick as possible.
Yeah, they know. You know what they should do? They should put Sunderland games on at 1 o'clock in the morning, and then everyone just go there when they're really fucking pissed, and everyone gone mental.
I don't think it's too hard for just one club to just dedicate one evening to live gig nights. Like, I know there's a sound curfew in certain areas. You mean like a nightclub here or a social club, like a not football club is what I'm saying. You don't mean a football club here. I was not still talking about football. I mean,
I said they should put. Because I said they should put Sunderland games on at 1 o'clock in the morning, get a load of piss people in. But just
two different things going on.
I was too busy enjoying these grapes. With your trail of thought.
To segue the conversation a little bit back to football, because we are doing a football podcast. How do you think that you could compare putting gigs on, live music on, to people going to football matches? Like, people have got better things to do than go to local gigs. There's the talent pool isn't there. Like, people have got better things to do than go to the football matches because the talent isn't there on the team.
Well, people like marketing now. You know, like marketing players, certain players getting, like, who are the people that are selling the shirts?
Yeah.
You know? Like, that's a big.
Well, Premier League status is a lot of it, I think. Like, I don't understand how, because my view of supporting Sunderland is like, you either go to the matches or you don't really. Like, obviously you support them, so how can you stop supporting them just because they're in a different league? Like, it doesn't really matter. It's the same activity. Like, fair enough, you might not be watching the same product because it's not as good or it's not as flashy or whatever because you're not in the Premier League, but it's still a fucking game of football. I don't understand why it stopped going, because it's different. Like, why does that matter? Why does it change anything? I
think when it comes to the difference between putting on gigs and people going to football matches, is football's a cultural thing. It's very much like people associate with their identity, whereas like going to see a band is like out of taste.
Yeah, but 15,000 people this season have decided that it's no longer part of their cultural identity. You know what I mean? How does that change?
I reason that with two things. One would be like parents that like taking their sons and daughters to see high quality Premier League games. The big part of it is they're going to take the kids who don't really understand about football, you know, like the depth of football and all that stuff. They're there to see like the drama aspect of it, and they want to see the big names like the people from Man United, Pogba, you know, like they want to see the people that way of playing. That's a big appeal with it, of like why children like the football games is the big passion of it. And another part of it is that when it comes to being in the Championship, there's just more games, and a lot of people can't get to all the games and don't want to commit to buying a season ticket when they know they're going to get probably 30% less of the games.
Yeah, you might be right there. Like, people can't get to all the games anymore. Like,
no, of course not.
And they're on different days as well. Like, you get like midweek games or like Friday night games and stuff like that in the Championship. Like, people can't. Like, some people work in London, they come up commute up to Sunderland, like, and they stay here for the weekend with family or whatever, and then they can't get to the Friday night games.
I don't think it's just about wanting to see the big stars as well. I think it's about wanting to see form and entertainment.
Well, there's also the thing of like the glamour of like, you know, you're on TV and you know it's like it's match. You're going to be able to watch us on Match of the Day, and that generates more, because you know at least the football, like Sunderland is going to be in the back of the newspaper.
It's relevant.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it as well is because you want to go somewhere and you want to see people like happy and smiling, having a good time. Like, you don't see that much at Sunderland matches these days. It's mainly blokes getting pissed off and shouting, and it's freezing. There's nobody around to like create an atmosphere. You just like why would you want to go there? Like, why would you want to take your kid there? It's like taking your kid to fucking, I don't know, Palian Docks or something, like now. Like just to show them the history of the shipyards. Like, it's fucking shithole now.
So again, I think that changes with form. You know, that comes back.
Going back about what I was saying about marketing, it's like, who's selling the shirts? Whose name do the kids want on the back of the shirts?
Oh, no one.
Probably there's not many stars on the team at the moment, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And
no, I'd be comfortable in saying we don't have any stars in the team.
No,
like McGeady maybe is the biggest name in the team.
He's a big name, but he's
people
not.
People want Cattermole will be a name.
I don't know if that many people are getting Cattermoles. I think out of the players that's there, I'm sure that Cattermole gets more, and maybe O'Shea more than anyone. Mm-hmm. But like, in terms of a star player, like, say you get a signing and it's going to sell a load of shirts.
Yeah. Like,
I don't think McGeady will sell many shirts. Like,
no, unless it's Scottish contingents of fans, I guess.
Irish.
Irish, sorry.
Yeah. No, you're right there, but I suppose an Irish fan who supports Sunderland might buy McGeady. But
I think forwards as well, but wow, we do not have any stars.
Yeah, but like, when you see,
I reckon the Sorrow might sell a few shirts. Like,
when we're in the Premier League, you know, when you click on Sky Sports, like the website, you go on Sky News website, you're going to see Sunderland.
Yeah. Because
we're in the Premier League, you're always going to see the pop up. Whenever you go on a betting site, you're going to see Sunderland's name. Whenever you go anywhere, rather than, setting tier or something.
Yeah.
You know
what was
a good spell here.
What was interesting about when Roy Keane was manager, when they used to do like Sky billboards and stuff, and they'd have like showdowns between like key players from all the big teams. Like, you'd have like Robin van Persie or Wayne Rooney or Frank Lampard or whatever. And then for Sunderland, you'd always have Roy Keane, because he was the biggest superstar at the club at the time. And when you talk about marketing, like, he was our brand at the time.
Well, how many people do you think are buying programmes for this? Next to nobody besides like collectors.
Yeah, people who want every programme, yeah.
Whereas Premier League, you play in Chelsea.
Yeah.
People are going to buy the programme just because you play in Chelsea.
Yeah.
And it's like something you're going to mark the occasion. Because let's say like they've got
definitely
one of the best players in the world, like Eden Hazard.
Yeah, and you want an interview with him or whatever.
Who knows? It might be worth something.
You want some information about him.
This and that.
Yeah, you've got a good point there. Like.
Yeah.
So the Premier League has that's where the money is, and rightly so.
Yeah. I suppose you're right. Yeah, you are right there. Like, marketability in the Premier League.
Exposure, because how many times
Alexis Sanchez this week.
You might look at the German results. You know, if you go on Sky Sports, you might like go past like the German league results and say, "Oh, Bayern won, Dortmund won, it's still tight at the top." Do you ever click on the second division of Germany?
No.
And look and see how those teams
No, definitely not. I suppose England's a bit different because English football's its own animal, really. It probably reaches further than anyone's. But
internationally, Premier League football is...
There's a significant drop in money that you earn from Premier League to Championship.
Yeah, Championship,
People all over the world follow the Premier League.
I still think the Championship is bigger than some European leagues, though.
Not many. Not the bigger ones, I would say.
I'd say it's probably on par with like maybe it's not the Dutch league. Is it bigger than the Scottish Premier League?
No.
Yeah, I would say so. Purely just because there's more teams.
So it's bigger than the Irish Premier League, put it that way. Yeah. Or the Welsh? Is there a Welsh Premier League? Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck?
It's that argument, isn't it? It's like, why isn't Celtic and Rangers classed as like teams that should play in the Premier League? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you've got teams like Swansea and
because there was that thing when Rangers went bust that they were going to reform and join the English league, wasn't it? They could do it. Like,
there's an argument for it.
Yeah. Yeah, just green ground for talent.
Because they are big clubs, like.
Yeah. Huge clubs, absolutely huge. Celtic and Rangers still huge. Dawson, you naughty boy. Yellow card for you, Michael
just
Dawson.
In a small pond.
Oh, lovely, nutmeg from Brian Oviedo, and then
I think there's two parts of it.
I saw riding the contact.
I think there's two parts of it that stop it from happening, like immediately, like they're not doing it right now.
Yeah.
One is that right now it's not as big. They're not going to make as much money in terms of marketing because, like I said, they're going to open up a whole new revenue of business stream. Scottish clubs, you're going to get like Scottish fans and all that stuff. But then not only that is that the standard of their football at the moment.
Yeah, not great. It's not great, is it? Even the
plus the travelling up there as well.
Yeah,
teams aren't going to want to travel.
I suppose like a lot of it is because like some clubs in the Scottish Premier League, like their grounds, not big grounds at all. Like, and so sometimes even when it's on telly, it even looks shit. Like the production of it is shit. Like, because it's like, I'm not sure if it's because the production of it actually is shit and the people involved are not very good, or it's just because you're at a ground and it looks like a fucking League 2 ground or something. But there's nothing wrong with having a small ground. It's like if you're a fringe Scottish town and you're in the Premier League, like fair enough. Like, you don't have to have a big stadium, do you? Because these places are not big. They're not going to sell that many tickets. No one's asked.
Two ways to think of it, like in my opinion, because for me you can take it either way. I would like to see the Scottish teams, like the Scottish Premier League, be like kind of merged into our leagues, like the tops of the top two teams or the top three teams of the Scottish League go into the Premier League or whichever way they want to do it.
Yeah.
Because I'd like to see the competition.
Yeah.
More football, the better football.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I suppose like.
On the other hand, if they want to have the independence of having their own league, there should be more than one to have that. They've still got the opportunity to get into Europe, and if that's how they want to play.
Yeah, that's a big element of it as well. Yeah, I mean, how many Scottish teams would go into Europe if they were playing in our league? Probably zero.
That's my view of that.
But where do you stop? Irish teams get a plane over. Nah, yeah, Irish teams.
That's where we're going.
Wales would probably be fucking easier than Scotland.
Well, when you say Irish, do you mean Northern Irish? Because there you're talking Britain, aren't you?
Yeah.
You say that, but like, look at the A-League, Australia, the amount of miles the teams have to travel.
Yeah.
Less games
to play each other.
Less games, short season.
Doesn't the A-League split it up into North and South as well, like the like MLS?
I'm not sure.
Because MLS definitely does that, don't they?
Like it narrows your argument down by half.
I'm not sure if that's the case, by the way. But the MLS is definitely that, because they do. I think they do North and South, and then they have the playoffs afterwards, which I've always thought is fucking ridiculous. Like, I think
but
logistically it's the best way to do it. But I think the concept of a playoff at the end of a league season is fucking ridiculous.
I would like to see where they just turn Texas or like central, just one state in the center of America, like Texas.
Yeah.
They just turn it into like sports city, and it's just like stadiums, all the games are played there.
What
like,
if soccer? As if that's going to get.
No,
as if there's demand for that in America. Oh, right.
So every sport.
Yeah, so like teams don't have to travel anymore.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go for a piss.
Everyone just lives in Texas sports city. Yeah, because it's enormous. It's like one of the biggest states. It'd be excellent idea. Because if you ever want to go see the football, you just whatever sport you want to follow, you just take a trip out to Texas.
People don't want to have to travel to Texas to watch the regional team.
Yeah, a great idea, isn't it?
There'd be no people turning up.
Yeah, attendance dropping to a minimum.
How many stadiums though as well? Like,
I've just got the image, like the
football stadium.
The image in my mind was like going over it on Google Maps and just seeing just stadium after stadium after stadium linking each other like Tetris.
Just one huge complex.
Like an Olympic Village. Makes sense to me.
Well, I'm thinking, like Wimbledon.
Thunderdome.
When you've got the few arenas and then you've got all the rows of
multiple games going on at once.
Just the rows of courts.
How do?
Enjoy your piss.
It was a good piss, actually. Yeah. perhaps we shouldn't have drank so many fluids doing a podcast. We've had several piss breaks.
Black coffee.
Yeah, black coffee, Mountain Dew, Coke Zero, water. Yeah, not great.
Nothing but caffeine.
Water, the worst one. We've barely spoken about football in the second half, or at least what we're watching anyway. But it's coming up 80 minutes now,
and I think the tempo was really good.
And we haven't actually made a sub apart from Billy Jones yet, have we?
I'd be lying.
I don't think so.
We took Billy Jones off for Matthews in the first half because Billy Jones cut his head or something like that. Yeah. We didn't even address that. We just laughed at him. Fucking Billy. But I think he's alright. I think maybe his nose was bleeding or something. Oh, David Meyler on the ball. Fucking ultimate team boy. I really can't get over that, you know. David Meyler having a YouTube channel. What's his game there?
Do you think he buys loads of packets of football stickers just so that he can keep his?
Will he have a football sticker?
Builds up accounts and then sells them on to 14-year-old boys.
Yeah.
Just to make like daft amounts.
Yeah, just to make pennies, just because he can.
Yeah, just because he can.
David Meyler. The thing is though, he'll just buy a load of packs, won't he? Because he's got loads of money. He's a footballer. He'll just buy a load of. What's the challenge in that? You just win, pay to win.
Well, that's like saying
all over the place.
Buy so many lottery tickets just to win the lottery.
Nah, it's not like that. There's a much higher chance that you'll get good cards in a super ultimate pack or whatever you buy on Ultimate Team.
I've never played Ultimate Team.
You can buy like different levels of packs, like you get platinum and stuff like that. Like, I played it 1 year, but I never paid for anything. Wow, oh yeah, Honeyman down all his face. Yeah. I don't know why you would pay to when you could just like play the game and get better at it, like naturally.
I think he came in and stood up like
Larson there booting Honeyman in the face. Did he actually catch him?
Yeah, he caught him.
And got booked for it.
Yeah, he got yellow.
Larson arguing with the referee, pretty standard behaviour from the Swede, but you know he's already been booked. John O'Shea's not happy about it.
Taking a sip of water.
Yeah, John O'Shea taking a little sip of water there.
Parched.
It's very important to stay hydrated, especially when you're John O'Shea.
81st minute in
those big fucking legs.
This game is getting a second window, I think.
Yeah, the last 10 minutes of the
heating up.
Well, I think this is the time to keep them on the back foot. This is the time to make the subs and bring the energy on.
What do you think a footballer has in the diet? Do you think they have good diets?
I think they have to.
I think they have meal plans, and considering like how many MMA fighters that I know get the meals sent to them now, or meal preps.
Yeah.
Well, when they're in season anyway. And these footballers have got the money to do it. They probably get the meals prepped for them and sent them.
Conor Whitman used to get pre-cut veg delivered to him, didn't he?
Yeah, you know.
That's a bit extreme, like.
Well, it's common.
Oh, that's a lovely pass from Oviedo. That.
Finish.
Go on, Robson.
Finish. I know we didn't even score enough a goal.
Oh, Robson, confidence there.
Yeah, so bad.
That was great. That like.
Nice football.
That's brilliant from Cattermole as well. Lovely touch that. All over them here.
Lovely touch.
Oh.
Definitely putting the pressure on them now.
Yeah.
82 minutes in.
Yeah, coming into the game at 82 minutes. This is lovely composure from Robson there. Like take the turn. He does well to hit the target.
Finish.
Yeah, it would have been lovely if he finished it because he had a really good game. Like I hope he keeps his place, but you never know what's going to happen.
The competition, like we were saying, the competition's good.
Exactly. I was actually disappointed to see Asoro and Madja started in this game because I always see Asoro as more of a second half player, an impact player.
Yeah, we discussed that.
That's what I thought.
Very, very happy to be proven wrong on this occasion, like because they were brilliant, both in the full game.
Well, I think he's proven that he wants to play.
On the pitch
he wants to play for the shirt.
83 minutes. Yeah, if you're going to play for the shirt and get on there.
Do you know, it's good to see everybody still looking fresh.
Yeah, exactly. Josh Madja there, like jumping for the ball, like really competing for it. 83 minutes, 1-0 up.
But they shouldn't be tired.
No, they shouldn't be tired. I know they're professional footballers, but a lot of them do get tired.
Well, not just professional footballers. I'm talking about the position that they are in the league. This is like in terms of the mentality, psychological. like an athlete's mind that we should be having, is that this is crunch time for us. This is like make or break time. We either like really catastrophically fail and drop into the division below us, in the conference, or do we pick it up?
Yeah.
Do I go out for those extra runs? Do I put those extra sessions in the gym and the extra time in nutrition and focus and mentality?
Lovely passing play that between Oviedo and Josh Madger, like. It's a shame from a sorrow. Maybe he could have done better over there, but.
Yeah, I don't think he did everything he can.
I think we were on top of them straight away.
Oh yeah, Hull trying to catch us on the break here, but we've actually got 4 men in front of the ball. Like, it's brilliant. We're tracking back straight away. We're concentrating all the time. He's looking brilliant. Jake Clark Salter.
Looking very good. He's from Chelsea, isn't he?
Yeah,
I believe he is. Yeah. Brian Oviedo looks a bit knackered there. He's been working all game. Really good going forward as well.
Going back to what I was saying, we've had this discussion before when we talked about players like Fraser Campbell and Danny Welbeck, players that came in on loans that had something to prove.
I don't think Campbell came in on loan.
Did he?
No, I think Campbell.
Fraser Campbell.
No, we just bought him outright.
He's not right, did we? Well, Danny Welbeck's a better example. I should say, really. Even Barini.
Great example is Barini in his first season. Like,
players that come in with something to prove. Even him, like that Chelsea kid in defence, he's proven that he can week in, week out stay strong, stay confident, and that's what the Chelsea's team want to see. I mean, he'll probably go out on loan again. He's too young.
That whole season Barini had with us on loan was all about proving a point to Brendan Rodgers. It wasn't about Sunderland.
But part of it shouldn't be. He's on loan. His allegiances. He clocks in, he clocks out.
Well, whether he proved it or not, he did nothing for Brendan Rodgers, did he?
No, but I mean, like, you give a good account of himself.
Josh Madger coming off here in the 85th minute. This is technically Coleman's first sub that hasn't been forced, because he's got, obviously it's his second, but he took Jones off from Matthews in the first half. But bringing Gooch on for the last 5 minutes it's excellent. Like, but I'd rather see him coming on the last 15. So I appreciate that Coleman does have one sub less, so his game plan has been changed to an extent. But
see, you say that, right? But what game was it where
bring them on straight away, going to the corner, shielding the ball. Excellent.
What game was it not too long ago where we were 1-0 up, we changed the team around and then we dropped off and we conceded?
No, I can't remember that. Well, it wasn't at home, because very rarely are we in the lead till late at home.
But what I was going to say was, it wasn't that. It was when it was 0-0. I can't remember what match it was. It was the last one I came with you too, Chris. Well, we changed the team around and we ran out of ideas.
I can't even remember. But that sounds like us, to be honest. It sounds like us. But I mean, the quality that we do have on the bench is, it could have been Cardiff. No, not Cardiff, because that was away, because we got beat 4-0. Whatever game it was, it sounds like us.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we don't have a lot of talent on our disposal on the bench.
What I was going to say was that we've scored an early goal, we managed to keep 1-0. We're not necessarily parting the bus because we're still playing tackle football. Why change the winning system at the moment? When
maybe you're right,
Because if you take off a player when you've got that kind of chemistry going, where we're maintaining it while still pushing on the offensive, why take anybody off and mess with it? You're saying it would have been good to bring him on 15 minutes ago, but would it? Because he would have changed the chemistry.
Yeah, it would have changed the shape of the team, Jake Clark Salter spanking Robin Wright on the arse there after the keeper makes a save.
Cheeky.
Yeah. Robin Wright had a much better game actually against Hull. He looked more confident, competent, commanding.
Time in front of goal is going to be good for him.
Yeah.
Time on the pitch. I certainly prefer him in goal over Steele.
Yeah, well, it's been a while since Steele's played, isn't it?
I think confidence breeds confidence as well. When you've got a defence that's playing well,
definitely.
Goalkeeper plays well, and then when the goalkeeper's playing well, the defence has less to consider.
Going back to what you were saying about bringing the sub on 15 minutes before the end, I agree with you actually. it obviously worked whatever he did because we ended up winning the game. So we're definitely solid at the back throughout the game. We didn't look too troubled. In
the
terms
last
of
match I was thinking of, by the way, although I still can't think of the team up there. It was when we took Gibson off. We took Gibson off at a certain point. I think it was around about the 75th minute.
Right.
And we totally lost our creative spark of the distributor.
Yeah. Gibson, funnily enough, came into a really good spell before he got injured.
Yeah, that was surprising.
Really important.
It might have even been the game he got injured in.
Yeah.
Because he didn't get injured on the pitch, I remember. He came off with the injury, I think. Yeah, anyway.
Well, look, there's Michael Dawson running behind it. What's Michael Dawson doing there? He's ran all the way up and he's like standing in front of the goals. He's just waiting for the. I suppose you can't be offside from the throw-in, can you?
No, dead ball.
Oh, dear me.
Paul
came in, coming really close there.
We really rode our luck a bit this match, though.
Yeah. I think in terms of what we can bring on from the bench, Gooch is probably our best option, especially since we've let Vaughan and Graham.
Oh, he's just booked a Gooch. Wow.
It's petty.
Well, for kicking the ball away.
Yeah,
he shouldn't have kicked the ball away, to be fair.
Yeah, he shouldn't have.
Especially since he's just come on, he doesn't need to. We don't need to be kicking the ball away.
Yeah, sometimes I don't mind seeing that.
Oh well, the ultimate taking one for the team yellow card comes in the last minute, doesn't it? Fucking brilliant. Highlight of the game for me.
Well, not really the goal. Time, would you say that's fair? Because I don't know where the breaks have been.
Yeah, in the second half I don't know. I mean,
sometimes I feel like I really do. Yeah. Maybe the first half.
Yeah, I'm not sure where the 4 minutes has come from in the second half. We've made one, so
they don't have I know it's
dramatising.
They don't. No, I'm saying.
Oh, that's lovely from Gooch. Oh my God, can he find the pass? The pass was
played it behind him. That's great.
Oh, that's really close. Gooch was excellent there going forward. He just didn't find the pass. He needed to
step in front of the ball. So
yeah. Combination of the two, not having great communication there, but
when it gets to this stage in the match, it turns into a very
scrappy,
very weird atmosphere, very tense.
Oh, yeah, because the only thing that could happen is for it to go wrong. Because if we're scoring on the goal, it's great, we've won the game conclusively.
Anything else is a loss at this point. You lose in 2 points.
That's excellent from Lee Cattermole. Yeah. Oh my God!
Typical.
Taking one for the team. That's prime cats. That
and walking off.
Yeah, walking off. He walks off here and he just doesn't turn around. Just hasn't got time for him. Hasn't got time for the ref.
No one that's wasting more time.
Yeah. He's great. He's great, Cattermole. He had to do that because Larson had so much space in front of him.
Didn't walk back to the ref either.
Yeah, hasn't got time for the ref.
I like that it was Larson as well.
Yeah.
Just leaving his mark.
Yeah, you could actually fuck Larson.
My yard now.
Yeah, exactly.
Larson's genuinely fucked.
Selling it.
Hobbling. Yeah, he is really selling it.
Yeah, he's done.
Get it. Oh. Nice little moment there.
Yeah, good.
Robin Reuter, grateful for that.
What nationality is he? Is he Dutch?
Right, yeah, he's Dutch, yeah. And he's grateful to have that ball in his hands because he doesn't spend
goalkeeper.
Yeah, he's a goalkeeper. He likes to have the ball in his hands. Preferably, the ball would be up the other end of the pitch.
Yeah,
and never go anywhere near him. I'd feel a lot more comfortable if the ball was never in the box. To be honest, because he has been atrocious this season at times. Yeah. Especially against Cardiff, that was bad. That was really bad. But good game against Hull. Made some saves
and one against Wolves as well.
Yes.
In complete fairness, I don't think Hull have had an awful game.
Oh.
I think they've certainly made the chances.
Oh, is that David Meyler there? Missed the last minute chance.
He was offside.
Oh, he was offside, was he?
Yeah.
Which is furious.
Where's your ultimate team now? David Meyler, you upside down headed bastard. Look at this. Was he offside, was he? Oh, he really should have buried it. No, I don't think it was offside.
I thought the
was a goal.
Give us for offside.
No, it was a goal kick because he kicked it out. He had a shot, hit off the keeper, come back, and he.
I think this is time.
Took it out. Yeah, it's got to be time this side. Oh, the ref!
I can't wait to hear the ovation.
Yeah.
The ref's knocking this.
I know,
the
refs
crazy.
Letting them have a good chance.
Do you know it's easy to say from the Sunderland side, the Sunderland fan perspective, but we don't half get done by.
Yeah. I know, very hard done by.
We really are like the black sheep.
Gooch boy, go on, Gooch boy,
go on.
Oh, it's a lovely little footwork. Oh, he's nice. I enjoy that. Yeah, even if to get a corner out of that is brilliant, to be honest.
He does go for a gooch, doesn't he? He's not afraid to attack.
No, he's excellent coming off the bench.
It's nice to see. Like,
I've always been a big fan of Gooch. He's a very, very direct player. I really like it. He's good for
Meyler laying the ball down.
Yeah, Meyler laying the ball down.
For the last kick of the game,
desperate
probably.
bastard.
Oh, I thought he was going for the handshake there.
I thought he was giving him the thumbs up.
Yeah. No, Gooch is.
Oh wow.
Is great. Like.
This is
lovely strength as well.
Great.
From Gooch.
Oh, lovely.
Get in there.
Well done.
And the final score 1-0 to Sunderland. Brilliant performance from Chris Coleman, Sunderland. Winning the game 1-0.
Respectful handshake.
Yeah.
It would have been nice to see us put another one away, because we did have the opportunity to do it.
We did have the chance to score 2 goals.
I think Hull went too far off getting the equaliser.
No, especially at the end, yeah. They had some really good chances at the end. Probably, I think better teams probably would have scored against us, but it was a much better.
Who else would we put on there? Like
as a sub?
Yeah, in terms of subs, we don't really have many.
We don't, as a general rule, we don't have much. Well, we don't have many senior players fit at the moment, so I suppose his hand was forced a little bit with the first substitution, but I thought the second one was a really, really good substitution as well. Like in terms of the player that he chose, like he came on, Gooch was holding the ball up, and he was instrumental in the last few minutes there, just getting the ball up the pitch, or even winning a corner and shielding the ball in the last few minutes. Like.
It even tided over the momentum, I think, which is as important as anything.
Yeah.
Well, I think he definitely went on in the instruction to be aggressive, and he wasn't on for the purpose of being defensive.
No, definitely
it's not like, because he's not a striker.
Yeah.
No
yeah.
Striker.
Well, at that stage of the game, you want to be clawing at the ball, kicking it up the pitch, and then you want someone who's going to chase them down and put pressure on the defence, don't you? And then try and nick another one on the counter attack, whatever. But it was a good sub. Like as I said, I would have liked to see him on a bit earlier, but as you made the good point, it might have disrupted our defensive flow.
Yeah.
So you never know. I mean, Coleman, he's won a few games now, hasn't he? So
I would say that they ramped up the pressure at that 80-minute mark.
Yeah.
So I think Coleman was trying to wait it out for that.
Yeah.
To bring
to see what they're going to do next, exactly, and then he can react.
Which is
to
experience,
that. Yeah. Aye. Well, I mean, he seems to be quite popular with the fans. I mean, he doesn't have an excellent record so far. I'm not sure what it is, but we've lost plenty of games under Coleman. But at the same time, we do lose games. We're not going to stop losing games. Like
salt in the wheat in the chaff, in my opinion.
Yeah. Aye. Well, it's a process, isn't it? And it's a process of changing the mentality on the training pitch. And
we'll just compare how many wins we've had since he came in compared to when Grayson was here.
Yeah, exactly. I know we're still getting beat, but generally we're picking up more wins, aren't we? Especially at home, it's crucial to win at home, I think.
Yeah.
Because I mean the away support is never going to change. We're always going to have a brilliant away support, and they're never going to stop going, because that's their shtick. The away fans, you know what I mean? They're loyal as fuck. They're not going to stop. It's like it's a part of the week for them. That's what they do with the weekends. Like they go and watch something. Like it's never going to change. It's getting 40,000 people through the front door at your home games. In the championship, you're not going to do it, and you're especially not going to do it if you're losing every fucking game.
Well, not when you're losing every game, but I think to round off on this performance and what Coleman's doing with the team in terms of finding the people who do want to play for the shirt and who don't. A big part of what Sunderland need to do, we're a big club in that league in terms of the size of the stadium we'll have, the amenities we'll have, and the capacity we have. Not only that, but the location of where we are in the country. Like these teams have to come up to us, and they hate doing that, especially the southern teams.
Yeah.
Teams down south always hate that. So what you need to do, what the Sunderland fans need to do, and it happens when we're winning, not when we're losing, but when we're winning, is to try and turn the stadium into a place where the away teams fear it.
Yeah.
They want to be going.
Yeah, it should be vicious. Yeah.
A team of 11 lads who are going to be up for it.
Yeah.
And want to win, and they're going to scrap for 90 minutes to win those matches.
Well, that's something that Newcastle did when they were in the Championship, because they were win every week, and they were selling out every game in the Championship, because they never really stopped winning. Like they lost the first 2 games, but from then on, really, it was kind of like, I wouldn't say it was a cakewalk, because they did only win the league by like the skin of their teeth, but at the same time they won the league, you know what I mean? And they had their home support was like clubs didn't want to go and watch the team play in Newcastle, because the home support was vicious, you know what I mean?
But I would say that the team itself had the
exactly. They didn't have to sell all of the best players. Yeah, to compare something to Newcastle going down would be unfair, because they've got so much financial backing, and their squad was so much better than ours is at this stage.
But so players that you don't want to go up against.
So in terms of their home support still being good when in the Championship, like they're still going to see a good team. So it's not as big of a drop for them. Plus our team was shit in the Premier League. Like some of the starting 11 in the whole game, most of them were playing for us in the Premier League. It doesn't mean that they're not shit, does it? Just because they were playing in the Premier League.
I think when they went down as well, Newcastle, they were in a lot more stable position when it came to management.
Whereas we've been through 2 managers since getting relegated. We're like David Moyes fucked off, and obviously Grayson. Like, so trying to get a core group of players sorted out to do the business in the Championship, come back up the first season, like definitely not. We don't have the players to stay in the league the first season. It's only now, when someone's been actually identified, like, right, it's drastic measures here, I'm literally going to have to ostracise all the bad eggs in the dressing room, because otherwise we're going to get kicked out of the fucking league. Like coming to that, like it's like Di Canio type shit, that man, like that's like desperate measures type stuff.
Desperate measures, but well, it's either now or never.
Yeah, it is because
leave it any longer,
the consequences of going into League One are fucking dire. Absolutely dire.
I mean, we've hit it at the worst point, because any later would be too late. We're at least in a position where if we string something together, like formulate a good plan, core group of players, team that want to win, energy, good atmosphere, good following, keep that ball rolling. All you got to do is just win enough games to keep us up. Keep us up, rebuild over the summer, and then you start a new season fresh. And then we start looking towards, now we want promotion. Now we'll start playing for the playoffs, like the top half of the league.
And also financially, if we can stay in the league this season, then we'll have a chance for our finances to level out, because we're still recovering from all the expenditure that were accrued in the Premier League. So if we've already cut the wage bill massively. So then if we can get to a point where maybe we'll start selling players at a profit and stuff like that again, like we haven't done in ages, like we can.
I think if we keep the club in the shop window as well, is important. Like, you can't expect anyone to come in with a bid if there's a chance we're going to get relegated.
Yeah, exactly. Or for fighting relegation. Yeah.
Again, going back to like the players like the Welbecks and stuff like that. If we are next season looking at getting promoted, looking ahead even further to that, you've got to think of who are the players you're going to attract to Sunderland, because our location, compared to like local big cities and other places that they could play for. Why do they want to come to Sunderland?
Yeah,
and that's a big part of bringing in the right mentality player.
Yeah, and the manager as well, because players will move to clubs where they're happy to play under the manager. I think Coleman possibly could offer us that, and I don't think there's managers that we've had recently that have ever offered that. Like, who's going to come to Sunderland to play under Moyes?
Yeah.
No one wants to play under fucking David Moyes. He's a bore's arse. You know what I mean? Who's going to play under Simon Grayson? Like, fair enough. He was meant to be one of them players one of the managers that the players liked, and he was kind of on their level and shit like that. But pedigree, from Simon Grayson, like, who the fuck's Simon Grayson? What's he ever done?
You say that about Moyes, and like the whole thing with the managers being a big part of why a player will come to serve for the club. I was rewatching Sunderland winning on penalties against Man U when Moyes was in charge. I'm watching, it was like the whole highlights of the full game, but it got to the point of the penalty shootout. And obviously that was a horrendous penalty shootout. What was like 8 penalties missed or something crazy?
Yeah,
like that, out of 10 missed.
Not a great penalty shootout.
Not great at all. But while I was watching it, it kept flashing back to Moyes on the sidelines, and literally every Man U youth player on the bench, the guys on the sidelines, in the rest of the dressing room, they're all huddled together, they're all around each other, they're all talking to each other, and there's Moisey standing there by himself.
Yeah.
And you just think, that just shows you how alienated he was and how alienated he made himself.
Yeah, at that huge football club where he's a visitor and everyone else is a stalwart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that is not what you want in the club. You want the manager right there, front and centre. You want the place around that man.
Exactly. The football club should actually be set up around the manager, because he's the ambassador for the football club.
That our teams have built a form from a new manager, like a new face like Poya and Canio and people like that who came in, and then when it turns out that they're toxic and it begins to wear off, it's a big part of them. They'll lose the dressing room.
Mm-hmm.
And what you need is somebody you need a real leader.
Yeah. It's a personality.
The real personality, a real one though, not just a flash in the pan.
Yeah.
You want someone with substance.
Yeah, like Coleman, who he seems to have identified now who's up for it and who's not. So he is favouring the players who are up for it, instead of isolating the players who are up for it, like managers have done in the past. Like, I
assume he's going for the same players that have the same mentality as him as a manager.
Yeah.
Like he's been dealt a losing hand.
Yeah.
It's up to him. It's his name at the club. You know what I mean? And it's his career and it's his.
Yeah, exactly. This is a big challenge for Coleman, because
he's not an old manager at all.
Yeah, he kind of did it at an international level. Like his achievement with Wales to get them that far in the tournament is astonishing, really.
International, different ball game.
It is completely a whole different ball game. So this is his. I know he's managed in the past, but this is his first real big challenge. Now he's proven himself. Like, people say, all right, well, fair enough, he did that with Wales, he's actually done something. Now, if he never does anything else for the rest of his career, people in Wales will remember him as, well, he got us into the semi-finals or whatever the cup didn't. Whereas people like Roy Hodgson, Steve McLaren, people who you'd probably be looking to as a Sunderland director of football or whatever, thinking, actually, like, we're going to have to try and get a player like that, a manager like that in more respect. Coleman's the opposite of that, because he's actually already done it, and he doesn't have the same credit that managers like Hodgson and I can't remember who else I fucking said, McLaren actually has.
Well, they're only going to tarnish their career from
they're never going to,
because they're never going to restore from what they've gone back from former glories and things like that. You want a manager that has got something to prove himself as well, that he's not just there for the paycheck. You want someone who's going to go to these matches and try and inspire these lads, but not just one game, but on the important games, but for every game.
Yeah.
Because there's
every day on the training pitch.
Every day on the training ground. Then it's an intense thing being a manager. It's a similar. I understand it's similar to being a boxing coach, in that being a boxing coach, you might have a dressing room with like a squad of 15 lads. That's 15 personalities that you've got to understand and manage. And for a football manager, it's not just 11 men that you've got on the team. It's maybe 22, 25 men you've got in the whole squad. 25 personalities that you've got to get at the peak.
And your trainers as well, your backroom staff.
Well, and your staff as well. You've got to motivate the staff. It's
people around
the football, psychology of the environment.
People around the football club, because you've got to deal with the bullshit of like trying to get money off the chairman and everybody who works underneath the chairman, the press, the fucking media team.
Well, what that comes with, in my opinion, is you as the manager, you don't want to be the person who's got to chase that up. You should have somebody you trust and respect enough to be doing that for you.
Like your
chasing
assistant.
The chairman and chasing your board. The person that you trust, like Alex Ferguson always had his bloke, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Like the man who...
What was he called? Muhlenstein or something?
The guy who we had forever.
The other guy,
he was going to
wasn't him who was like... Oh no,
he
it
went
was...
on the management.
No, I know who you mean,
he went...
There was Muhlenstein. I think his name was Muhlenstein. He went on to manage Spurs or something.
Yeah.
And then there was the other one. He had a bald head. I think it was. He went on to manage as well. Yeah.
Muhlenstein went to Fulham.
Yeah.
That was when they had 3 managers in the same season.
Yeah.
Doing a Sunderland.
And he was one of the ones that got.
I'm sure he's called Mike Phelan, the other one.
That's the guy.
Mike Phelan.
But that's what you need though as a manager, because when you're managing a team, especially the guys at Sunderland are in, the focus wants to be the football, the squad, the personality, the tactics, and your duties. Your duties shouldn't be going at the boardroom meetings with the coach and demanding money.
Well, if you're Chris Coleman, I mean, maybe he has the personality where he would actually benefit from going into that environment. You know what I mean?
But not every day.
Like no, you wouldn't want that shit every day. You want to be on the training pitch, don't you?
Yeah,
because it's all that matters is the performance on Saturday. So you've got to focus on that.
The more dire straits that you get into, like as a team, the more time you do spend off the.
For sure. Yeah, well, Martin O'Neill apparently never used to take training sessions, like when he was at Sunderland, like near the last stages, because he was having issues and shit like that. Like,
and that to me is a big part of what being a manager and what being a good manager. That
because you've got to do it yourself if you're trying to motivate people to go out on the training pitch in fucking November when it's freezing outside and get the feet dirty and shit like that. You've got to get up there as well and say, like, I'm here, like do it for me. Like, you've got to believe in what I'm telling you to do, because then on Saturday you've got to go and do this in front of you've got to perform in front of 40,000 people, and if you fuck it up, then that's me who's going to get sacked, because you're not going to get fucking sacked, because you've got a contract that the club can't afford to terminate because you're on 70 fucking grand a week. So they're never going to sack you. They'll sack me because I'm on what? I don't know what managers get paid, like 30 grand or something like that, maybe 30 grand a week. I don't know how much the managers are on, but we're still fucking paying for them. I know that much. We're still paying off managers, or we were very, very recently. But it must be a fucking hard job. But at the same time, it's not that fucking hard. Like,
you've got to consider moving to the area as well, transporting your family.
When you've got managers like David Moyes, and they make it look like the most miserable fucking experience.
Yeah, when you think you still
like they're doing us a favour by being there.
Yeah, exactly. And you think, think of how much you could do if you spent more time, like,
if you tried harder,
becoming a pillar of the community,
did better. Yeah, Coleman going around in all the hospitals and visiting old people and wishing them happy birthday, and being the spearhead of the machine that is Sunderland AFC, and setting a high working example, high work ethic, setting that as an example from the beginning, and that transmitting through every single stage of the club, every hierarchy of the club, from the manager. The players on the pitch, we're going to give our all on a Saturday. All the staff around them, all the media and shit like that. And that's what it is.
It's a good person to stick in front of the cameras.
Yeah, definitely as well. And he's going to, everybody else is going to work in his image. And the talk about changing the culture at Sunderland, like, it's a culture that's been allowed to go stale and fester over 10 years in the Premier League by us being less than mediocre, mediocre at best, but less than mediocre. And then it's a slow process of the club weeding out all the garbage ones on the team, in the backroom staff, in Black Cat House, all that shit, and then finding a way to be profitable as a football club, like as a business, actually earn profit, and then after all that shit, sorting the fucking first team out and winning some football games
while also playing football.
Yeah, well, also playing in the logistics of travelling to every away game, making sure all the players have got the wages paid, all the fucking meals done, all the arses wiped, make sure they're not fucking texting 15-year-old girls and shit like that.
Shout out.
Like, definitely not a fucking shout out. All that shit, like the logistics of running a football club, all that, the business side, and then still winning a football match in front of thousands of people. It's complicated shit, but at the same time, it's not that fucking hard, is it? The least you expect is for people to try. And we've tried very hard to record this podcast and make it about football. I'd say we've done a pretty mediocre job, so it kind of sits in with the Sunderland.
I'd say mediocre at best.
Mediocre at best. So we kind of typify the Sunderland ethic, really, don't we? There.
We do, but I've said it before that whether you're a fan of football, whether you follow football, whether you follow Sunderland, when it comes to Sunderland in particular, and I know this from growing up and being from Sunderland my whole entire life, that the football, in the form that we're in and the highs and lows that we have as a football team, transcend into the town.
Yeah, definitely.
And not just the town, but the whole mentality and attitude of people. You see the buzz in people when it's not just a match day, but when we're winning on a match day. You feel the buzz when we're losing, and you feel that in the negative energy. And
I've felt much more positive this week since Sunderland won, and I feel like everyone's been walking around with smiles on their faces because Sunderland have won a football match. I completely agree with what you're saying.
But
it gets people, it gets the whole city down because we're going to this kind of
I think even
social
like
and economic depression.
Yeah,
it
is. Mm-hmm. It does come down to that.
Yeah,
it's good to see us win, and it's whether you see the glass is half full or half empty. We've got a battle on our hand for the rest of the season.
Yeah, exactly. It's like whether we choose to do it or not, like we've kind of got to. You've got to turn up. You've got to turn up every weekend, so you might as well fucking win, or you might as well try and win anyway. Yeah. Otherwise, you're just going to embarrass yourself. Right, on that note, we are going to fuck off and
eat some steak.
Yeah, eat some steak. It's steak night, baby. So you can. I don't know. We haven't really figured this out yet, but you can probably subscribe to this podcast. I imagine that all of the information will be up on our website, which is classy.digital. That is classy.digital. All the information will be on there. This is Away the Fellas podcast. I've been Chris. This has been Tommy.
My first ever podcast.
And I have been Jack. Apparently.
Yeah, he's been Jack as well. So we'll leave that with you. We've got Tuesday night's game, which is against Birmingham. We might do a podcast for that. I don't know really. We'll leave it open. We might do it. We might do it. We'll see.
To be continued.
Yeah.
To be discontinued.